I'm drawing a planet with ink. Let's chat about it for a bit, then talk about my irrational fear of sleep. Enjoy! Well, hello there, I'm Detroit, here for another ink drawing in this sketchbook of mine. I've had it for 2 years and this will be the penultimate page. After this one, there will be one drawing left before it's completed. You should subscribe because soon I'll make a video flipping through the entire sketchbook. A sketchbook tour, if you will. Some of the drawings this sketchbook contains are stuff you might not have seen. Some drawings I only posted to Instagram, or to nothing at all, brand new content. There are some unfinished drawings too in there. Maybe in the future I'll go back to revisit them and finish them all, but I'm not sure. I'm actually pretty excited about finishing this sketchbook. I already have a second one ready for when this one is full. I'm gonna switch my own rules around before I started though. This black Canson sketchbook was only for ink drawings, but since I started to get back into pencil drawings and sketches, I want to also include them in the new book. Basically, I want to be more free with it. It's also one of the reasons it's taking me this long to complete this one. I only wanted finished ink drawings, and so each new artwork came with an added pressure of success, when I could have had more fun with random pencil doodles. On the other hand, having one full coherent sketchbook sure is nice. So as you're seeing, for this drawing I'm using a Pilot Fineliner. This is a very comfortable pen, especially when it is new. Unlike my usual drawing gear, the rotring and the fountain pens, this one can't be recharged, which is a bit of a shame, but it makes sense with its type of nib. What I'm drawing is a planet with 2 rings on it. I guess I liked it twice, according to Beyoncé. The pattern I'm using is not new to me, it's what I like to call muscle fibers and bones because that's the feel it gives me. I think I first used it in the video that kicked off my 2 videos per week commitment. I then used it for the little story about the government's mysterious new weapon, and I also used it to make a bone jellyfish. All 3 of these videos you can find by clicking the eye icon at the top of the screen over there. It's a very free and automatic drawing pattern, you can hardly go wrong with it. It really gives a nice biological volume to things, you know what I mean? It's not mineral, not mechanical, so I call it biological. What's the word I'm looking for? Organic! That's it, an organic feel. Coincidentally, this pattern's musical instrument equivalent would be a jazz organ. I need to make a video about that soon. The parallels I like to draw between visual arts and music. Turns out, when I started thinking about it, it progressively made more and more sense. Like how, for drawing, the sketch is like the drums. It will condition the stability of the song, its rhythm. The line art is the bass line. It refines it and makes it stronger. Then the renders are like a guitar and the lights and shadows are the melody. I won't say more than that today. You'll have to tune in the future to hear more about my theory. This drawing turned out to be a really relaxing process. I say that for almost every ink drawing, but that isn't necessarily always true. This one truly was. I was really anxious when I started it, but by the end I was more or less fine. This last week was hell for me. Everything at work was shit, my experiment broke, and for every attempt to fix it, I found another new problem that needed to be solved. So I had the stress about that, about work, and I also was sick. I got an angina, or pharyngitis. Really sore throat. I don't know which word is used more in English. Basically, I started coughing a lot, got tired, got my amygdala swollen, etc, etc. It didn't feel great. On top of it all, but probably due to the high stress levels, I woke up at 5 AM and couldn't go back to sleep on Friday morning. So I was hella tired for the whole day, under more stress and stuff. I usually wake up at 7 during the week, and 7:30 or 8 during the weekend. So Friday I was a zombie, and Saturday morning I woke up at 4 AM, even earlier this time. My body was exhausted, my mind was half dead too, and because I was already lacking sleep, and since the weather is so hot here, I was a bit dehydrated. So when I woke up at 4, my body ached all over, especially in the shoulder for some reason, and it was the pain that kept me from going back to sleep. So now if you follow that logic, the lack of sleep causes pain, and the pain causes lack of sleep. What should I do here, just wait and die? Fortunately, I didn't die, as you can probably tell. I just got up, then did all the chores I could think of, then did this drawing by about 6:30 AM, which helped me calm down a bit. Later on during the day, I took a nap. I'm glad this shamble in my routine only lasted 2 nights, and then I went back to waking up at the usual time. I'm not sure I ever talked about it on YouTube, or if I did, it was like 2 years ago maybe. I have an almost irrational fear of going to sleep. I've had it for a few years. It's probably stress-induced, and it arrived with my college studies. Then about 3 years ago it disappeared a bit, but now because of this little sleepless event, I'm afraid it's got back. It's called Somnophobia, according to the web. It's not really fear of sleep though. It's fear of going to sleep and not being able to fall asleep. It's not the more common fear of not being able to wake up, it's the opposite. The way I take it is my brain is very productive. And what happens is that I would go to bed, then start thinking. This is where I create the first drafts for my books and stories. A lot of drawing ideas too come from these moments. I can't fall asleep because I'm thinking too much and I'm building stories in my head. The problem is that when I went to sleep at, let's say, 10 PM, sometimes I still wouldn't be able to stop thinking by 2 AM. First of all, that's exhausting. Second of all, it's really boring after a while. As I realized I did that often, it slowly morphed into this irrational fear of going to bed and not being able to sleep. Actually, let me rephrase that. I absolutely hate going to bed. My go-to superpower would definitely be to not need sleep anymore. Sleeping is shit. It's stress-inducing for me, and the most you can hope from it is to not remember anything. Like, honestly, what's the point of sleeping? And I'm not really asking that question, I know why it's essential, but sleeping is a thorn in the side of our lives. In every house, apartment or any place, we need to have a room with at least 2 meters squared of space occupied by one piece of furniture, of which the only purpose is spend time by being unconscious. You use a bedroom only when you don't even know you're using it because you're passed out. Isn't that the strangest and most frustrating thing? 1/3 of our day is taken by nothingness, essentially. So that's time and space you could gain 1/3 of if you didn't need to sleep. That would be adding 1/2 to your life. Can you imagine that? Not needing sleep would be the equivalent of living to be 120 instead of 80, but still being 80. So yeah, that's my take on sleep. Why I hate going to bed and how I thought it was gone, but 2 sleepless nights and the fear is back. But I'm okay, it's manageable. It has to be, because I still need to sleep every day as long as I stay on this lower plane of existence. God, I'll be glad to return to my side of the universe. This planet I drew is actually right next to my world. I miss it. Like the video if you enjoyed watching this, and leave a comment telling me your thoughts on sleep. You can also tell me what you want to see me draw in the future. Subscribe to see more art twice a week, especially the sketchbook tool I'll make soon. All my art is on my Instagram at d3_sd, and you can find links to other social media in the description. I'm Detroit, and I'll see you soon. Bye!